Now, if you do have little ones with you, we do ask that the adults please sit at the end of the row. If that's not practical, then please make sure the kids are held or are easily within your reach. Thank you. And as we get underway, let's wave goodbye to our station master, Manal. She's been here this evening, getting us out on time, or at least close to being on time. All right, we're now rolling into the Railroad Junction district here at Greenfield Village. And this is the first building we're seeing, is the Smith Creek Depot building. This was built in 1858 and was located in Smith Creek, Michigan. That's roughly 8.5 miles southwest of Fort Huron. And it was on the Grand Trunk Railroad line that ran between Detroit and Fort Huron. And you can see our newest addition to Greenfield Village. That's that open air building on our left. That's the vegetable building. That used to be part of the Detroit Central Market. It was built in 1860 and closed in 1894 when they moved it over to Belle Isle, and it became a horse stable. Now Henry Ford obtained the building in 2003, and we had it in storage up until last year when we began reconstructing the vegetable building here. And right now we're passing the Detroit, Toledo, and Milwaukee Roundhouse. This is where we service and maintain our steam locomotives as well as our rolling stock. Our roundhouse opened up in the year 2000, and it's based on a roundhouse that was built in Marshall, Michigan in 1884. Now that one remained in use until the 1930s, and it was then closed, and when they began demolishing the building, we were able to get some of the parts from that building as well as the blueprints, and we reconstructed our roundhouse based on that information. And now you can look into our Liberty Craft Works area on the left-hand side. That's where we have some skilled artisans who do such things as glass blowing, pottery making, weaving, and printing. Right now we're coming into the working farm district. On the right-hand side you'll see a small apple orchard featuring heirloom apple trees. And up ahead is the Firestone farmhouse built in 1828 in Columbiana, Ohio. Now we do have 7 acres on our farm, and we produce winter wheat, field corn, rye, and also hay. Now speaking of the farmhouse is where Henry Ford, or not Henry Ford, but Harvey Firestone was born, and he went on to create the Firestone Tire and Rubber Company in 1901. And his big break was the fact that Henry Ford gave him the contract to produce tires for his Model T. And right now we're coming into the Firestone station. We'll be stopping here for about 8 minutes, and this is by the main entrance to Greenfield Village. And this is probably where you came in today, and where you'll be leaving tonight. All right, please remain seated until you hear the train whistle. And let's wait for the whistle, please. And there it is. Wave goodbye to our station master Pat and our supervisor, station master Jack of all trades, Thomas. And we're beginning a trip that will take us just about 2/3 of the way around Greenfield Village. As I mentioned before, it will only be going as far as Smith Creek, and everyone will have to get off the train at that point. As we will be putting the train to bed for the day. Well, right now we're entering the first of our 7 historic districts here at Greenfield Village. This is our Henry Ford Model B district. And the large white farmhouse on the left is the birthplace of Henry Ford. He was born in the upstairs bedrooms on July 30th, 1963. And the farm itself was located in the area of Fort Road and Greenfield Roads. It started off at about 140 acres and later grew to over 230 acres. But Henry did not enjoy farming very much, and he wanted to leave the large gray building is the Menlo Park Laboratory, and this is where Edison developed the incandescent light bulb along with the phonograph and many other inventions. In fact, during his lifetime, Edison accumulated 1,093 U.S. patents for his inventions. Now, the mustard-colored building is the Sarah Jordan boarding house, and that's where many of Edison's unmarried male employees would stay. And it's one of the first residences in the world to be wired for electric lights. And we're now approaching the porches and parlors district, which features a variety of homes that individuals have lived in over the years. And they all give you some ideas of the lifestyles and traditions of those who lived in the buildings. And here's Thomas the Ackley Covered Bridge. This was built in 1832 and was located in southwest Pennsylvania, where it went over the Wheeling Creek. And the oldest building in Greenfield Village is at the top of the hill on your left. That's the Cotswold Cottage. And that was built in the early 1600s in England. Henry Ford was able to purchase the building and had it brought over here to the village, where it was reassembled after being taken apart in England. All right, we're now coming into the Susquehanna station. We'll be stopping here briefly before we move on to our final destination of the evening, Smith Creek. All right. And we're now rolling further into the porches and parlors district, and this white building on our left is the Susquehanna Plantation building. This was built in 1835 and it was located in the Tidewater region of Maryland. It was part of a 700-acre plantation that grew wheat, corn, and tobacco. Now, the reddish-colored building is the Clifton family home. This was built in 1640 in South Sudbury, Massachusetts. It's the oldest American made building here in the village. And here's the Ferris windmill, built in the mid-1600s. It was located on the north shore of Cape Cod. And there's the Beckett farmhouse. That was built in 1754 in Coventry, Connecticut. It's an example of rural life in colonial America. And you can see our horse paddock area over here on the left. And this is where we bring our horses actually in pulling wagons and carriages in the village. This is where they have a chance to get ready or relax and get ready for the next time to call upon to work. Now the locomotive pulling our train today is a 1942 General Electric diesel locomotive, and it was used originally at the Naval Yard in Charleston, South Carolina. It was used to pull munitions up to a loading area where the munitions were then loaded onto the Navy ships that were in the harbor. And of course, this was all taking place during World War II. And now I'm going to stop talking for a few moments and let you enjoy a ride through the Greenfield Village Nature Preserve. Wetlands restoration area. And Henry Ford, along with state and local units of government, were working in this area to restore the Rouge River to its natural condition. You can see the river on the right-hand side, and it's a little below us. But you'll see that it does have natural river banks. And not too far from here, the Rouge River has a cement bottom, cement sides. That was done for flood control purposes, but over here it's natural. Now we do have a small herd of deer in this area, along with turkeys, possums, and raccoons, and of course squirrels. And we're now coming into the Walnut Grove. This is our special event field, and you can see the markings of a baseball diamond over here on the left-hand side. And that's because our two historic baseball teams, the Lottie Dawes and the Nationals, played baseball here on the weekends during the summer. In fact, the Lottie Dawes were playing earlier today. Now, they play according to rules written back in the 1860s, and one of the rules would say that a fielder has to catch the ball with his bare hands. Baseball gloves were not allowed back in those days. Now, up ahead, you can see the Henry Ford Academy. This is a public charter school that's open to students who live in Wayne County, Michigan. Students are selected for the academy by lottery, and we have about 500 students who attend the school when it's in session. And now they are in grades 9 through 12. Ninth graders have their classes, however, at the Henry Ford Museum of American Innovation. 10th, 11th, and 12th graders have their classes over in this area. And we're coming up to a rather unique set of classrooms. These are full-length cottages that have been converted into classrooms, and they're used by our seniors. Now, as we pass the classrooms, you can see the Swanee Lagoon to our left. And during the summer and warm days, you'll often see turtles in our Swanee Lagoon basking in the sunshine as they're resting on branches and logs that are floating in the water. And we have one turtle that's rather famous, I guess. He's a snapping turtle, and he's as large as a garbage can lid. And we call him Godzilla. As we pass the lagoon, you can see the Martha Mary Chapel to our left. It's a non-denominational chapel that Henry Ford named after his mother, Mary Ford, and his mother-in-law, Martha Ryan. And right now we're passing the Taste of History, the St. Patrick's Now restaurant. It's open until 9 o'clock tonight. Not too much longer. Well, the white building is the Eagle Tavern, but that's also a restaurant, but they closed at 8 o'clock today. And that features a menu that dates back to the 1850s. Originally, it was called the Clinton Inn, as it was located in Clinton, Michigan. And it was on the railroad route, the stagecoach route between Detroit and Chicago. And right now, we're pulling into our final destination for the evening. This is the Smith Creek Station, and we will be asking everyone to leave the train at this point, as we will be putting the train to bed after this.